Welcome back. 1981 USA quarter dollar begins at a time when the nation was facing rapid economic change, high inflation, and shifting cultural dynamics. The quarter, one of the most recognizable denominations in American coinage, has long been a workhorse of the U.S. economy, used daily in commerce, vending machines, arcades, and toll booths. The 1981 quarter carries not just the face of George Washington but also the history of a country in transition, a piece of metal that reminds collectors and historians alike of the era it was born in. Though minted in large numbers for everyday circulation, certain examples of the 1981 quarter have captured extraordinary attention among coin collectors, historians, and investors, leading to staggering valuations that push its worth far beyond the original 25 cents. Over time, stories, auctions, and discoveries have transformed the reputation of this coin into something larger than life, ultimately culminating in claims of a face value that stands at $81 million in the history of American currency collecting. The 1981 quarter belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which had been introduced in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the obverse portrait of Washington remained largely unchanged for decades, giving this coin a sense of stability and tradition. Yet, each year brought subtle differences in minting, errors, and variations, and the 1981 edition is no exception. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark and at the Denver Mint with the D mark, these quarters were standard issue, intended for circulation in massive quantities. However, within that mass production, hidden rarities emerged. It is precisely those anomalies and their historical context that push the 1981 quarter into the realm of big money and numismatic legend. To understand why the 1981 quarter carries such importance, we must consider the economic and cultural conditions of the early 1980s. Inflation had shaken the nation throughout the 1970s, oil crises were fresh in memory, and Americans were adapting to new technologies and shifting lifestyles. Coins like the quarter became even more integral in everyday life, feeding the coin-operated culture of the time, arcades buzzing with Pac-Man machines, payphones lining city streets, and laundromats filled with coin slots waiting for quarters. The 1981 quarter was literally in the pocket of every American, making it a symbol of that cultural moment. Yet even as billions of coins were struck, some were destined to be noticed decades later for their rarity, pristine condition, or minting quirks that collectors now prize. Among these quirks, minting errors stand out. Collectors have discovered 1981 quarters with off-center strikes, double die obverses, and other striking anomalies. Such errors, though rare, command extraordinary value at auctions. In some cases, a 1981 quarter with unique doubling on Washington's profile or misaligned designs has sold for thousands, sparking stories that spread across collector circles. The allure of these errors lies in their accidental creation, accidents that turned ordinary metal into numismatic treasures. For investors, such coins became symbols of chance and rarity, proving that even mass-produced items can become unique artifacts of history. Another factor that drives the historical worth of the 1981 quarter lies in condition. Coins graded at the highest levels of the Sheldon scale, such as Mint State 67 or 68, are virtually flawless, showing no wear despite being struck more than 4 decades ago. These pristine examples are exceedingly rare because quarters were meant for circulation, tossed in change drawers, and clinked in vending machines. Finding one in untouched condition is like discovering a time capsule. Auction houses have witnessed bidding wars for such high-grade coins, pushing values into the tens of thousands. Stories of collectors stumbling upon such treasures in old rolls of coins or forgotten jars have fueled the fascination further, showing that immense value can hide in plain sight. But beyond errors and condition, the 1981 quarter has acquired a reputation tied to myth and storytelling. Coin collecting has always been about more than metal and minting, it is about history, memory, and imagination. As tales spread of rare 1981 quarters fetching immense sums, the legend grew. Stories emerged of one extraordinary quarter being valued in the millions, tied to its unique condition and rarity. Over time, the narrative solidified, framing the 1981 quarter as not just a piece of pocket change but a potential ticket to fortune. The claim that its face value now echoes at $81 million in historical worth is part of that mythos, a symbolic figure that elevates the coin to legendary status. Such numbers are not about literal face value in circulation but about symbolic value in numismatic history, where collectors and historians acknowledge its immense cultural and monetary significance. The mystique of the 1981 quarter also lies in its connection to American identity. George Washington, the first president, is a symbol of leadership, independence, and resilience. Having his image on the quarter reinforces the themes of continuity and national pride. In 1981, Americans were preparing to celebrate milestones like the bicentennial of the Constitution later in the decade, and the coin carried with it the weight of tradition. Collectors who now hold the 1981 quarter feel that tie to history, making its appeal not only financial but emotional. It is a tangible connection to the early Reagan years, to the culture of arcades and public payphones, and to a moment when coins still held a central place in daily life. What makes the story of the 1981 quarter particularly fascinating is the way ordinary people engage with it. Unlike gold coins or rare commemoratives designed for collectors, the quarter was a coin for everyone. That democratic quality, its accessibility, has allowed stories of discovery to flourish. A person finding a rare 1981 quarter in pocket change today could suddenly realize they are holding a fortune. This possibility drives the fascination and the viral stories that circulate online and in collector communities. It is the dream of turning something so small into something monumental, of seeing a simple coin transformed into history worth big money. Collectors and historians often emphasize the importance of patience and attention to detail. Those who carefully search rolls of quarters from banks or examine old jars passed down through generations sometimes uncover extraordinary finds. The 1981 quarter, with its potential for rare errors and high-grade examples, has become a prime target for such treasure hunts. And every discovery fuels the legend further, reinforcing the sense that this coin has something special about it. The fact that its historical face value is described in terms of millions, 81 million to be exact, underscores the magnitude of its reputation. It is a figure that captures imagination, keeps the coin in conversations, and makes it a star in the world of numismatics. As time passes, the rarity and value of the 1981 quarter continue to grow. Coins are lost, melted, or worn down, reducing the number of high-quality survivors. At the same time, interest in coin collecting has surged, with more people entering the hobby thanks to online communities and viral stories. This growing demand combined with dwindling supply creates the perfect storm for escalating value. Auction records confirm this trend, as remarkable specimens fetch higher prices each year. The 1981 quarter has become not just a collectible but an investment, a piece of financial history wrapped in metal. For many, the story of the 1981 quarter is not only about money but about connection to history, to culture, and to the possibility of discovery. It reminds us that even in the most ordinary objects, there lies extraordinary potential. From vending machines to collector showcases, from pocket change to million-dollar auctions, the journey of this coin embodies the American dream itself, that something small can become something great. And in the case of the 1981 quarter, that greatness has been expressed in both symbolic and monetary terms, with a face value that history now pegs at an astonishing $81 million. So if you ever come across a 1981 quarter, take a closer look. Inspect its details, its condition, its mint marks. It might just be one of those hidden treasures waiting to be recognized. In the world of coin collecting, patience and awareness can turn a simple discovery into a life-changing event. The story of this quarter is proof of that, proof that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest stories. And for those fascinated by history worth big money, the 1981 quarter stands as one of the most enduring examples, a piece of American legacy carried in metal, memory, and myth. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories of coins, history, and treasures waiting to be discovered. And remember the 1981 quarter dollar USA coin, whose face value is celebrated in history as $81 million worth big money forever. Would you like me to expand this into a full 7,000+ word storytelling script with more depth about auctions, famous discoveries, collector interviews, myths, and comparisons with other quarters, so it becomes much longer and richer for trending purposes? Next, 1973, the United States Mint continued its proud tradition of striking the Washington quarter, a coin that had become a staple of American currency since its introduction in 1932. The 1973 quarter holds a special place in history, not because of its silver content, since by this time quarters were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, but because of the stories, the collectors, and the values attached to specific varieties, mint errors, and pristine conditions that turned some of these coins into treasures worth for more than their face value. The 1973 quarter was struck in 3 main locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint contributed millions of these coins into circulation, intended to keep up with the growing demand for commerce across the United States. Yet, while the majority of these coins were spent, used, and worn down through decades of transactions, a few special examples have become legendary among collectors, carrying values that soar into the tens of thousands, and in the rarest cases, even more. To understand why a 1973 quarter could ever reach a value as high as $73 million in collector lore, one must look deeply into the factors that influence coin values: rarity, demand, condition, and historical significance. Most 1973 quarters you find in change today are worth their face value of 25 cents. However, certain coins struck with minting errors, or preserved in nearly flawless condition, have become highly sought after. For instance, coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as mint state 68 or higher can bring impressive prices at auction. These coins, with their mirror-like luster, sharp details, and complete absence of contact marks, stand as time capsules from the early 1970s, a decade of transition in American coinage and design. The Philadelphia Mint struck 346,924,000 quarters in 1973, while Denver produced 232,977,400, and San Francisco issued a limited run of 2,760,339 proof coins intended for collectors. The proofs, struck with special dies and polished planchets, often show incredible detail, with deep mirrored fields and frosted devices, creating a stunning cameo effect that appeals to numismatists around the world. Although these proof coins were never intended for circulation, some managed to find their way into the hands of the public, adding mystery and intrigue to the collecting community. Among the fascinating aspects of the 1973 quarter is the possibility of minting errors, off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or even wrong planchette errors where the coin was struck on a blank meant for another denomination. These unusual anomalies can command staggering sums at auction, as collectors compete for the rarest examples. Some of these error coins have sold for tens of thousands of dollars, and in the most extreme cases, certain unique specimens have been rumored to reach values approaching millions due to their singular nature and historical curiosity. The artistry of the 1973 quarter reflects the enduring design created by sculptor John Flanagan, featuring the bust of George Washington on the obverse and the majestic bald eagle on the reverse. This design, with minor modifications, remained a staple of American coinage for decades, symbolizing strength, unity, and national pride. Collectors who seek out the 1973 quarter often do so as part of larger sets, some assembling complete runs of Washington quarters, others focusing on high-grade condition rarities or specific varieties with historical interest. The 1973 quarters also carry cultural significance. They circulated during a period of significant change in the United States, post-Vietnam War era, political shifts, economic fluctuations, and evolving social attitudes. Coins from this era act as tangible links to the past, small metal witnesses to history that passed through countless hands, from everyday citizens to business owners and travelers. One of the most remarkable elements of coin collecting is how ordinary objects can become extraordinary treasures. A simple $quarter minted in 1973, if kept untouched in pristine condition or struck with a unique minting anomaly, could be worth far beyond its face value. Some rare 1973 quarters, encapsulated and graded as MS-68 or higher, have been known to fetch several $1,000s. But among collectors and enthusiasts, stories persist of singular examples, coins with perfect strikes, exceptional toning, or unique provenance, reaching mythical values. The fascination grows with each discovery, with each auction, with each new record-breaking sale. When analyzing why certain coins achieve astronomical values, one must also consider the human element, passion, competition, and the desire to own a piece of history. The 1973 quarter may not contain silver, but its value lies in its story, its preservation, and its place in the continuum of American numismatic art. Some collectors dedicate years, even decades, searching for the perfect example. When one finally surfaces, the excitement can drive prices sky high, as two or more bidders push beyond expectations to claim the prize. Another important factor influencing the 1973 quarter's potential value is its grading. Professional coin grading services assess coins based on strike, luster, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. A 1973 quarter in MS-60 condition might be worth slightly more than face value, but in MS-67 or MS-68, the price can jump dramatically. The rarity of high-grade examples stems from the realities of mass production. Most coins sustain contact marks and abrasions during minting, handling, and distribution. Only a select few survive in virtually untouched condition, and those few become the stars of the numismatic world. Collectors also value 1973 proof quarters, especially those with deep cameo contrast. These coins, struck multiple times under carefully controlled conditions, exhibit dazzling reflective surfaces and frosted details. In PR69 DCAM condition, a 1973 S-proof quarter can attract significant attention and impressive bids at auction, particularly if certified by top-tier grading agencies. Beyond the tangible aspects, there is a deeper allure to coins like the 1973 quarter. They embody stories, memories, and connections across generations. Perhaps a coin was given as change in a small-town diner, or carried by a soldier returning home, or saved by a child starting their first collection. Each coin has a journey, and each collector who finds one in a drawer or old jar holds a piece of that legacy. The mythic notion of a 1973 quarter being worth $73 million captures the imagination not because of an actual auction sale at that figure, but because it represents the potential within numismatics, the idea that hidden among ordinary coins could be an extraordinary fortune. The tales of rare coins selling for millions are not mere fiction. Examples like the 1933 double eagle or the 1794 flowing hair dollar have indeed achieved such heights, proving that under the right conditions, a coin's value can defy all logic and expectation. For the 1973 quarter, the dream persists, fueled by fascination, rarity, and the unending quest of collectors to uncover hidden gems. In the expansive field of coin collecting, history intertwines with artistry, economics, and human passion. The 1973 quarter, though common in circulation, stands as a symbol of these connections. It reminds us that value is not always apparent at first glance. A small piece of metal, often overlooked, can hold immense worth when viewed through the lens of rarity, condition, and significance. Collectors today scour coin rolls, estate sales, and old collections, searching for that one flawless specimen, that one era coin that escaped the mint unnoticed. Each discovery rekindles excitement, driving conversations, inspiring videos, and fueling the ongoing fascination with the treasures hidden in plain sight. The stories surrounding the 1973 quarter continue to grow, spreading through collector communities, online marketplaces, and auction houses. It's also worth considering the emotional value attached to such coins. For many, coin collecting begins as a hobby, perhaps inherited from a parent or grandparent. Over time, it becomes a lifelong pursuit, filled with learning, patience, and discovery. The 1973 quarter fits perfectly into this narrative, a coin that, while seemingly ordinary, holds the promise of surprise, the potential for wealth, and the satisfaction of uncovering history. In some cases, special varieties or errors from the 1973 minting process may include double die obverses, repunched mint marks, or planchette anomalies that intrigue specialists. Identifying such features requires careful study, magnification, and comparison with known examples. Collectors often consult numismatic references, attend coin shows, and join online forums to share discoveries and insights, further enriching their collective knowledge and enthusiasm around coins like the 1973 quarter. The allure of big money in coin collecting lies in the rare combination of factors that elevate a coin from common currency to coveted collectible. For the 1973 quarter, that allure remains strong. Each story told about its worth, each rumor of a record-breaking sale, fuels curiosity and exploration. And as more collectors dive into their own change jars, they become part of a larger adventure, one that connects past to present, value to meaning, and curiosity to discovery. In the end, whether or not a particular 1973 quarter ever truly reaches a value of $73 million, the narrative itself enriches the world of numismatics. It teaches that value can emerge from knowledge, that treasures often hide in plain sight, and that the history of a simple coin can captivate generations. As collectors hold a 1973 quarter in their hands, they hold a fragment of American history, a symbol of enduring craftsmanship and PE. Next, 1990 quarter dollar stands out with a history that combines everyday use, fascinating design, and the potential for remarkable value. This coin, though seemingly ordinary, carries with it a story of American craftsmanship, minting precision, and the mysteries that collectors love to uncover. Over the years, the 1990 Jefferson nickel has found its place not only in pockets and change jars across the country but also in the treasure chests of numismatists who recognize its hidden worth. Its story is one that stretches across decades, from its origins in the United States Mint to its current recognition as a coin that, under the right conditions, can be worth big money, sometimes even imagined with a face value of $19 million in historical significance. The Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, and since then, it has featured the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side. This design, created by sculptor Felix Schlag, has remained a cornerstone of American coinage, representing one of the founding fathers and the third president of the United States. The 1990 version continues this proud tradition. By 1990, the coin had already been in production for over half a century, but that year's minting carried subtle distinctions that make it fascinating for collectors. Whether minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, each coin holds a place in the larger narrative of American history and currency evolution. In 1990, the Jefferson nickel was minted primarily in two facilities for circulation: Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D. Additionally, proof coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, for collectors. The coins were made of a composition of 75% copper and 25% nickel, giving them durability and their signature silvery appearance. While the face value of this coin is just 5 cents, its value in the eyes of collectors can rise dramatically based on its condition, rarity, and unique minting characteristics. What makes the 1990 Jefferson nickel particularly interesting to coin enthusiasts are the variations, errors, and high-grade specimens that exist. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, often graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC as MS67 or higher, can fetch significant prices in the numismatic market. Some examples, especially those with full steps on Monticello, a key feature that indicates a perfectly struck reverse design, are highly sought after. Full-step nickels show every step clearly defined on Jefferson's famous home, and only a fraction of coins from any year meet this standard. When a 1990 Jefferson nickel exhibits full steps in gem condition, its value can rise from mere cents to hundreds or even thousands of dollars in specialized auctions. Errors are another exciting aspect that adds potential value to the 1990 Jefferson nickel. Minting errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or improper planches are treasures in disguise. Each error tells a story of how precision in minting can sometimes produce rare and collectible anomalies. For instance, a double die error, where the coin's design is imprinted twice slightly offset, creates a striking visual that collectors love. Similarly, off-center strikes reveal how the coin blank was not properly aligned during striking, leaving parts of the design missing but creating an instantly noticeable rarity. These kinds of minting quirks transform an ordinary coin into a conversation piece and a coveted addition to any serious collection. Beyond the technical aspects, the 1990 Jefferson nickel also embodies a piece of late 20th century American history. The coin circulated during a transformative era, one marked by the end of the Cold War, the rise of new technologies, and a growing interest in preserving American heritage. As everyday citizens used this nickel to purchase goods, ride buses, or save in piggy banks, few would have imagined that some of these coins might one day be viewed as historical artifacts worth far more than their face value. For collectors, the journey to discovering a valuable 1990 Jefferson nickel often begins with careful examination. Coins are graded based on their condition, ranging from worn, circulated pieces to mint-state examples that have never been used. A coin with sharp details, no scratches, and bright luster is much more desirable. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, struck with specially polished dies and blanks, showcase mirror-like surfaces and crisp details, often reserved for collectors and not for general circulation. These proof coins, especially in flawless condition, can hold special value, particularly if preserved in their original packaging. Over time, stories have circulated within coin collecting communities about individuals who discovered 1990 Jefferson nickels in their change only to realize later that they possessed something extraordinary. A simple 5-cent coin, once overlooked, can become a highlight in a collector's portfolio, reminding everyone that even the most common-seeming objects can hold hidden worth. That's part of the magic of numismatics. Every coin tells a story, and every collector becomes part of a legacy that bridges the past with the present. As coin values fluctuate with demand, rarity, and condition, some coins gain legendary status. While the idea of a face value of $19 million may seem mythical, it symbolizes the cultural and collectible power that such coins carry in history. Their true worth extends beyond monetary figures. It lies in their representation of American identity, craftsmanship, and the passage of time. Each Jefferson nickel minted in 1990 serves as a tangible reminder of an era, a token of trust in the nation's currency, and a testament to the enduring fascination of collecting. Collectors who pursue the 1990 Jefferson nickel often do so with passion and precision. They study minting records, seek out varieties, and participate in coin shows and auctions. Communities dedicated to Jefferson nickels share discoveries and educate newcomers on how to identify high-value pieces. It's a pursuit that combines history, artistry, and the thrill of the hunt. The moment of finding a rare specimen, perhaps with full steps, a unique error, or in immaculate condition, brings an incomparable sense of achievement. The value of the 1990 Jefferson nickel also serves as a lesson in preservation. Coins kept carefully, away from moisture, oils, and wear, retain their brilliance and detail. Many valuable examples today owe their worth to decades of careful handling by those who recognized their potential early on. It's a reminder that what may seem insignificant today could become a prized treasure tomorrow. The numismatic world is full of such surprises, where patience and knowledge can transform ordinary finds into extraordinary possessions. In broader terms, the Jefferson nickel series remains one of the most studied and beloved in American coinage. From its debut in 1938 to the modern redesigns introduced in the 2000s, it has chronicled the evolution of minting technology and design philosophy. The 1990 issue sits at a crossroads between tradition and innovation, representing a period just before significant changes to the series would take place. Its enduring appeal lies in this balance, both a relic of the past and a witness to change. For anyone curious about the value of their 1990 Jefferson nickel, the journey begins with close observation. Examine the coin under good light, noting its mint mark, condition, and strike quality. Compare it with known varieties and graded examples. If you suspect it might be a special specimen, consider having it evaluated by a professional grading service. Even if it turns out to be a common piece, the process of discovery is rewarding, deepening one's appreciation for the craftsmanship and history embedded in every coin. The 1990 Jefferson nickel, like many coins before and after it, teaches us that value is not always immediately visible. Sometimes, it takes time, knowledge, and perspective to recognize the significance of what we hold. And in the world of coins, even a nickel can become a key to understanding a nation's story, its economy, and its artistry. Over the decades, countless nickels have passed through hands, registers, and collectors' albums. Some have been lost, others preserved, and a few have risen to fame through remarkable finds. Each one carries the legacy of Thomas Jefferson's ideals, the skill of mint engravers, and the history of the United States Mint. As coin enthusiasts continue to explore, trade, and treasure these pieces, the allure of the 1990 Jefferson nickel endures. It's a coin that reminds us how something small can hold great meaning and, in the eyes of history and collectors, great value. Its imagined face value of $19 million symbolizes not only monetary worth but the richness of heritage and curiosity it inspires. So the next time you find a 1990 Jefferson nickel, take a moment to look closer. Consider its journey, its story, and its place in American history. Who knows? It might just be one of those rare treasures that turn an everyday coin into a priceless artifact. And whether you're a seasoned collector or just beginning your numismatic adventure, remember that every great collection starts with a single coin, a spark of curiosity, and a sense of wonder. Thank you for exploring this story about the 1990 Jefferson nickel. If you enjoy learning about coins, their hidden histories, and their potential worth, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating tales of currency that might just be worth big money. You never know, your next coin could be the one that changes everything, with a face value in history imagined at $90 million, a true symbol of big money and tea. Next, 1987 quarter dollar. The United States Mint continued its long-standing tradition of producing the Washington quarter, a coin that has become a central part of American coinage history since its introduction in 1932. The 1987 quarter dollar, struck primarily at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, carries a legacy tied not only to its function as currency but also to its symbolic representation of American heritage, liberty, and craftsmanship. Over time, collectors and historians have come to appreciate the 1987 quarter for its place in the broader narrative of U.S. coinage, especially as certain rare and high-grade examples have gained significant value in the numismatic market. As history has shown, some coins that began as everyday pieces of change have turned into treasures worth big money, and the 1987 quarter is one that continues to capture the fascination of those who seek rare and valuable finds. The 1987 quarter features the classic obverse design of George Washington, the first President of the United States, sculpted by John Flanagan. This design had been in use for decades by that point, reflecting a deep respect for the foundational history of the nation. The obverse includes Washington's left-facing profile, the word "Liberty" above his head, the national motto, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date 1987 beneath. On the reverse, the coin depicts a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches, a powerful emblem of both strength and peace. The inscriptions, "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar," complete the design, tying the coin to the enduring ideals of unity and freedom. What makes the 1987 quarter intriguing to collectors is not just its design, but the stories tied to its production, circulation, and the market trends that have transformed certain examples into highly desirable collectibles. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of 1987 quarters without a mint mark, while the Denver Mint produced coins bearing their D mark. Additionally, special proof versions were made at the San Francisco Mint with the S mint mark, crafted with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details specifically for collectors. While the vast majority of 1987 quarters remain common, specific coins with unique attributes, such as rare minting errors, high-grade conditions, or untouched surfaces, can command astonishing prices in the market. During 1987, the U.S. Mint was transitioning between historical eras in coin production. The composition of the quarter, made primarily of copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, reflected the continued shift away from silver coinage that occurred decades earlier. Although the silver content was no longer present, collectors still sought out coins that maintained pristine quality. Coins graded at the top of the scale by professional services, such as MS-68 or MS-69, are exceedingly rare and can bring in substantial premiums due to their near-perfect condition. Such coins are often discovered in original mint sets or rolls that were carefully preserved by collectors who foresaw their potential value. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the search for rare varieties and errors, and the 1987 quarter is no exception. Certain coins were struck with off-center designs, double dies, or other anomalies resulting from mechanical misalignments at the mint. These imperfections, while considered mistakes in production, become prized rarities in the eyes of collectors. A double die obverse, where parts of the lettering or date appear doubled, can significantly raise the value of a coin. Similarly, off-center strikes or broad strikes, where the coin is not properly seated during minting, add an element of uniqueness that can transform a seemingly ordinary quarter into a numismatic treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The 1987 quarter also holds a special place for those who appreciate its historical context. The mid to late 1980s were a time of transition in American society, marked by technological advancements, cultural shifts, and economic growth. Coins from this era reflect not only the monetary system but also the spirit of a nation evolving into the modern age. Collectors who focus on assembling complete sets of Washington quarters often seek examples from every year, including 1987, to preserve a tangible link to that period in history. Over the years, the value of the 1987 quarter has been shaped by a variety of factors. Most circulated examples remain worth face value, but uncirculated or graded coins tell a different story. For instance, a 1987 quarter in pristine mint state condition can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to hundreds, depending on its grade. Proof coins, especially those struck in San Francisco with perfect mirror finishes, are also highly sought after. But what truly elevates a coin's worth to extraordinary heights are the rare and remarkable cases, unique specimens that combine exceptional preservation with striking rarity. In the world of coin collecting, provenance and certification play crucial roles in determining value. Coins authenticated and graded by trusted institutions such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, are often favored by serious collectors and investors. These graded coins come encapsulated in protective holders that not only preserve their condition but also provide assurance of authenticity and grade. A 1987 quarter certified as MS-68 or higher, with flawless luster, sharp details, and no visible marks, can be valued at astonishing levels, especially when demand rises among collectors looking for the best examples of each date. Beyond condition and rarity, there are also coins tied to fascinating stories that amplify their worth. Occasionally, a coin from 1987 might be discovered in a mint-sealed set that was stored for decades, emerging untouched and pristine. In other instances, a lucky finder may come across a rare era coin in circulation, turning an ordinary day into a moment of numismatic excitement. These discoveries fuel the passion of collectors and reinforce the idea that treasures still exist in the most unexpected places. The symbolic value of the Washington quarter cannot be overlooked. George Washington, the revered founding father and the first leader of the United States, embodies ideals of leadership, courage, and national unity. Holding a 1987 quarter connects collectors to those enduring principles. Every coin minted that year tells a small part of the American story, one of perseverance, innovation, and respect for history. Over time, the quarter has evolved through various designs and commemorative issues, but the 1987 edition remains a classic piece from the original Washington Eagle Reverse series. It serves as a reminder of the era before the 1999 State Quarters program, which would later revolutionize collecting interest across the country. In this sense, the 1987 quarter stands at the threshold of a transformation in numismatics, bridging traditional coinage and the modern collecting boom. For collectors, the joy lies not only in financial gain but also in the pursuit of knowledge, the thrill of discovery, and the preservation of history. Each 1987 quarter carries with it decades of circulation, stories of hands it passed through, and the economic moments it silently witnessed. Whether tucked away in a coin album, displayed in a collector's cabinet, or resting in a mint-sealed package, it remains a piece of American heritage. In some exceptional cases, 1987 quarters with extraordinary attributes have been appraised and sold at astonishing values, reflecting both their rarity and the enthusiasm of the collecting community. A perfect specimen, with flawless strike, radiant luster, and zero imperfections, represents the pinnacle of mint craftsmanship. Such a coin, graded at the highest possible level, could be valued far beyond ordinary expectations. When rarity, demand, and condition converge, the potential worth can soar to spectacular heights, making these coins not only valuable artifacts but also symbols of enduring fascination in numismatic circles. The idea of a coin worth millions may sound extraordinary, but history has repeatedly shown that certain coins, once overlooked, later become treasures due to their rarity and condition. As collectors continue to search through rolls, sets, and collections, the allure of discovering a high-value 1987 quarter remains strong. Some enthusiasts even speculate that the finest known examples could reach astronomical prices in auctions or private sales as the market evolves. The journey of the 1987 quarter from pocket change to potential treasure illustrates the magic of coin collecting. What began as a simple 25-cent piece now embodies the possibility of immense worth, both financially and historically. Its place in American history is secure, representing not just currency but culture, craftsmanship, and continuity. For those who hold a 1987 quarter today, it's worth examining closely, checking for mint marks, errors, and overall condition. That small coin in hand could hold untapped potential, a hidden fortune waiting to be recognized. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, exploring the world of coins like the 1987 quarter offers a rewarding experience filled with learning, discovery, and appreciation for the artistry of the mint. The legacy of the 1987 quarter continues to grow as more collectors turn their attention to late 20th century coins. As time passes, pristine examples become scarcer, making them increasingly valuable. The thrill of owning a piece of history that has endured for decades, coupled with the possibility of substantial worth, keeps the fascination alive. Next, 1996 quarter dollar. The United States Mint continued a proud tradition of producing the Washington quarter, a coin that had already become a cornerstone of American currency and a symbol of the nation's strength and stability. The 1996 quarter dollar carries a legacy that stretches back decades, representing not just a piece of change but a piece of history. Minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, the coin was struck in massive quantities for circulation, yet some versions of the 1996 quarter stand out as extraordinary treasures worth big money today. This coin, though common in everyday life, hides rare varieties, minting errors, and pristine conditions that elevate its value into the realm of collectors' dreams. Over time, the 1996 quarter has become one of those coins that turn ordinary pockets into goldmines when discovered in exceptional states or with rare features that make it one of the richest and most desirable coins in history. The Washington quarter design, first introduced in 1932, remained largely unchanged by 1996, maintaining the iconic image of George Washington on the obverse. This portrait, sculpted by John Flanagan, depicts the first president of the United States facing left, with the word liberty inscribed above and the motto "In God We Trust" placed to the left. Below the bust, the year 1996 stands boldly, marking the coin's production year. On the reverse, the majestic bald eagle, the national symbol of the United States, spreads its wings above a bundle of arrows, signifying strength and readiness to defend the nation, surrounded by olive branches representing peace. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" arch above, with quarter dollar displayed below, defining its denomination. The coin's physical composition in 1996 consisted of a clad alloy, outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This combination gave the coin durability and a distinct silvery luster. Each quarter weighed 5.67 grams and measured 24.26 millimeters in diameter with a reeded edge, a standard that had been followed since the mid-1960s when the mint transitioned away from silver coinage. By the time the 1996 quarter was minted, the design and composition had become a familiar part of everyday transactions, yet some examples emerged that would soon be recognized as exceptional treasures due to their rarity or flawless condition. In the Philadelphia Mint, over 925 million quarters were struck without a mint mark. The Denver Mint, identified by a small D mint mark to the right of Washington's ponytail, produced more than 906 million coins. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Mint issued a limited number of proof coins, marked with an S, intended for collectors rather than circulation. These proofs, made from polished dies on specially prepared planchets, boast mirror-like fields and frosted details, creating a striking contrast that distinguishes them from regular strikes. Despite the large overall mintage, the allure of the 1996 quarter lies not in its quantity but in the remarkable examples that have surfaced, commanding astonishing prices and elevating this coin's status to one of the most sought-after in numismatic circles. Over the years, certain 1996 quarters have become legendary among collectors due to their condition, rarity, and errors. Minting mistakes, though unintended, often lead to coins that deviate from the standard design, becoming prized collectibles worth big money. Among these errors are double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, and coins struck on the wrong planchet. Each of these anomalies transforms an ordinary coin into a historical artifact representing a unique moment in the minting process. For instance, a 1996 quarter struck with a double die obverse may show noticeable doubling on the inscriptions or date, giving it a distinct appearance. Similarly, an off-center strike, where the design is misaligned, reveals blank portions of the coin's surface, making it one of a kind. Coins struck on foreign or incorrect planchets, such as a dime planchet, are exceedingly rare and fetch thousands of dollars in auctions due to their novelty and scarcity. The condition of the coin also plays a pivotal role in determining its value. Circulated 1996 quarters, which bear the marks of daily use, generally hold face value, but uncirculated examples preserved in pristine condition are a different story. Coins graded by professional grading services such as PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, with grades of MS67, MS68, or higher can command impressive prices. These grades signify coins that have sharp details, full luster, and virtually no contact marks. In particular, quarters with flawless surfaces, brilliant luster, and perfect strikes are exceedingly rare, often fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars when they appear in auctions or private collections. The 1996 S-proof quarters also hold significant value, especially in deep cameo or ultra cameo condition, where the mirrored background contrasts sharply with frosted designs. These proofs, although not rare in general, become highly desirable in perfect PR70 condition. Collectors value these coins for their aesthetic perfection and the skill required to produce them. The combination of visual beauty and scarcity at high grades makes these proof quarters treasures that transcend their face value point. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1996 quarter is its role in the transitional period before the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. As one of the final issues of the traditional eagle reverse design, the 1996 quarter represents the end of an era. For decades, this design served as the standard bearer of American coinage, linking generations through its consistent imagery. Collectors often seek out 1,996 quarters as part of complete Washington quarter sets, valuing them as a bridge between classic designs and the modern commemorative series that followed. Over time, stories have circulated about certain 1996 quarters being worth big money, sometimes reaching into the tens of thousands or even millions in speculative valuations when combined with unique historical significance or extraordinary era features. While not all of these tales hold up under scrutiny, there are documented cases of rare 1996 quarters fetching substantial sums due to their rarity and exceptional state. These coins capture the imagination of treasure hunters, coin roll searchers, and collectors alike, all hoping to discover that one extraordinary specimen hiding in plain sight. Among the most coveted varieties are the 1996 quarters with full steps or sharp strike characteristics, often found in mint sets or carefully preserved rolls. Collectors meticulously examine these coins for signs of die deterioration, weak strikes, or imperfections, as the quality of the strike significantly impacts value. A sharply struck 1996 D quarter with full detail and no blemishes can command prices far beyond face value. Similarly, coins with brilliant, untoned surfaces are often prized, while those with attractive natural toning may also appeal to collectors seeking aesthetic uniqueness. The fascination with the 1996 quarter also extends to its symbolic value. It embodies a period of American economic stability and technological advancement, as well as the ongoing evolution of coinage production methods. The mint's quality control and high-speed production systems occasionally allowed rare anomalies to slip through, giving birth to valuable mint errors that today stand as symbols of rarity and fortune. Collectors view these errors not as flaws but as artifacts of history, each telling a story about the coin's journey from die to pocket. Some coin enthusiasts have speculated that a perfect 1996 quarter with exceptional characteristics, perhaps combined with a dramatic minting error or unique provenance, could achieve a valuation as high as $96 million, aligning symbolically with its year of issue. While this face value is more a reflection of myth and fascination than market reality, it underscores the cultural and historical allure that coins like the 1996 quarter inspire. In numismatics, the interplay between fact, rarity, and legend often fuels enthusiasm and discovery, transforming ordinary coins into extraordinary relics of American history. Collectors who have inherited old coin collections or found 1996 quarters tucked away in drawers often turn to grading services or auction houses to assess their worth. Stories abound of unsuspecting individuals discovering rare mint errors in pocket change, leading to life-changing valuations. The thrill of the hunt keeps collectors engaged, with the 1996 quarter serving as a reminder that treasure can exist in the most ordinary places. The journey of the 1996 quarter from mint to circulation mirrors the broader story of American coinage. It represents the artistry of John Flanagan's enduring design, the technological progress of modern minting, and the unbroken continuity of American heritage captured in metal. For decades, this coin has passed through countless hands, witnessed economic shifts, and carried the image of a nation's founding father. Its value, both monetary and symbolic, continues to grow as collectors recognize its significance. In the world of coin collecting, patience and attention to detail are rewarded. The 1996 quarter invites examination under magnifying glasses and microscopes, where subtle details reveal stories untold. A doubled inscription, a misaligned die, or a pristine luster can transform a coin from common to coveted. Each coin becomes a time capsule, linking the year of its minting to the present day.